Hey guys, today we're going to see a presentation about the fundamental needs of the early humans, but before that we wanted to go over the steps that we need to give when we are presenting one of these lessons. So I brought this chart here, and we're going to see during our presentation, we're going to see specifically an introduction where we're going to give an invitation or welcome to student. Then we're going to state the lesson topic. That's what this lesson is going to be about. We're going to recall the previous lessons. That is an important part before you present the lesson. Then we're going to go into the content. The content may be just a lesson, and many times it's going to be a story that comes before the lesson and then the lesson itself. And finally, we're going to finish with a conclusion with the follow-up work that we offer for the students and thanking the students for coming to the lesson. Okay? So here we go. Hey guys, thank you for coming to the lesson. Today, we've been working on the fundamental needs of people. We learned this chart when we saw the difference between the spiritual needs and the material needs, and how all humans, independently where we are, we have these basic fundamental needs, and how we cover them in different places in the world. Today, we're going to focus, as we study in the ancient civilizations, on how early humans covered the fundamental needs. Early humans live in a very different world than the one we live today. But we're going to see how some of the fundamental needs that they have actually are similar to the ones that we have today, even though they cover it in a different way. So I brought this lesson here, and we're going to start first. And we're going to see some of the fundamental needs that they had. So for example, one of the first fundamental needs that they have was defense. They have the need to protect themselves. And if I look in my game bag, I'm going to look here, maybe we can find an object. Like here, for example. This early human seems to be holding a spear that is helping them to protect themselves. No? Another fundamental need that they have was communication. We also have another object for communication. Early humans were able to talk, but they didn't have writing yet. However, we know that in some of the caves, they were able to do some paintings. This is a famous painting actually that is located in a cave in Spain called Altamira, but it's also famous, the caves of Lascaux. And here I have our object with our painting. Okay? We don't know exactly what they mean because they didn't have any writing. Maybe they were trying to identify maybe the souls of the different animals. Maybe it was just a map. Maybe it was art. We don't know. The next one that I have is religion. Again, because we don't know much about early humans, because we don't have those writings from them, we don't know exactly what some of the elements that they use, what they meant. We know that they have a religion because they buried their dead. And if that, they were thinking in some kind of afterlife. But in this case, we don't know much about that. We know that there are structures like this one on Stonehenge, on Clonmacnoise in Ireland, where they seem to be aligned with the sun in certain moments of the year. But again, we don't know exactly what they were doing there. The next one is tools. Early humans, as we see from the third grade lesson, like all humans, we have three different values that differentiate us from different animals. That is our thumbs, our brain, and our heart. Our thumbs and our brain combined, they help us creating some tools. Like for example, could be this arrowhead. Early humans were able to use stones and later bronze, copper, iron to make different tools that help them to work and to solve their needs. Another one that we have is shelter. The first early humans were probably sleeping outside in the field, or maybe they could find caves where they were actually guarded from the rain or maybe from cold weather. And later they were developing like tents that they were making with bones and skins from animals, and they could move from one place to the other ones when they were nomads at the beginning. Later they were able to develop, when they started being settling, they were developed different housing, different places where to shelter. The next one is clothing. And of course, early humans could not go to fashion stores to get their clothes. They have to make their own clothing. And at the beginning it was very simple, maybe just wearing furs of animals that they were hunting. And they were just covering themselves with fur or any. But later they were able to develop boots or belts, and they were able to become more fashionable and being able to have clothing that adjusted better for them. The next fundamental need that they have, like we all have, is food. The first early humans, this may sound a little gross, but they were eating everything raw. They had to eat what they hunted or what they collected. They eat it raw, and somehow at one point, maybe when they discovered fire, probably it was an accident. When one day maybe the food fell over fire, and that made that they discovered that cooking their food was actually making it tender, making it probably tastier, and also healthier too. The next one and the last one we're going to see today is the social acceptance. Early humans, like we do today, they need to feel that they belong to some kind of group. And in this case, they were calling them clans, and they were kind of like families, but in this case, they were like a small societies where they have different families together and they created a clan. These clans were usually ruled by the elders or the strongest people in the tribe, but they were supporting each other. Okay, so now we're ready to go over the cards, and maybe you want to read some of these cards and see where you can put it. So for example, the first one says, finding food was one of the biggest challenges for early humans. At first, they only hunted and gathered food. They had to always move to look for good. Later, they learned how to grow plants for food and how to keep animals. They were able to settle and live in one place. Okay, which one do you think is this one? You will listen carefully. What are the clues that help you? Oh, you heard hunted and gathered food. Yes, this is food. Try another one. And we need to be very careful and listening for the clues. Okay? From the beginning, early humans live in groups. The groups were called clans, and they were families. Once they developed farming, they started settling and creating the first cities. Okay, so we are not going to continue, but this you will go over the different cards and matching them to the different fundamental needs. Okay, so now, after you finish this lesson, you may have some options that you can do. Like, for example, we can offer you here, maybe you want to draw a scene of early humans and maybe put at least 4 of the fundamental needs in it and maybe label it. Maybe write in a true or false book with the different fundamental needs about early humans. Okay? Or would you like to live to be an early human? Why would you like to live as an early human? Or why not would you like to live with early humans? Okay? So these are different options in which you can prepare and you can create your work, or maybe you can think about something different that you want to do once you finish the lesson. Okay? So thank you for coming to the lesson. I hope you enjoyed, and you can keep watching our videos on Sustainable Montessori. Thank you very much.